everybody. Merry Christmas. And we're very excited today. Welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast. Today we have Crissie Miller, who is the EVP over at UPtv. And thank you so much, Crissie, for coming back. This is your fifth time. Can you believe it?
Oh my gosh, has it really been 5 times? Time flies when you're having a boatload of Christmas fun. I tell you what.
Yeah, I mean, UPtv is the only network that has supported us pretty much every year that we've covered that we've had a podcast.
Oh,
We
well,
had
we're
Amy
proud
on
to be a
before,
partner.
and then we've had you on. So
Yeah, we're proud to be a partner of your podcast. It's such a good one. There's so much, and I love how you like distill it down for everybody. Like, here's where you can watch these things. It's a lot. It's a lot of content out there.
well, we really appreciate it. We so appreciate getting to work with you and everything that UPtv does. And there's just been some real gems. And we even gave last year, we gave our best non-Christmas Hallmarkies podcast award to an UPtv movie, Mixed Baggage, which is all-timer.
That is amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
That movie turned out so cute. We're real proud of that one.
Yeah. Oh, that was, man, I would have, if I got that on my desk to check out, I'd be so excited.
It was a good one. It was a really good one. Such a cute concept and just like a lot of fun in that one.
Yeah, and to execute 3 love stories so well is very difficult.
It is a talent that one came out of our dev team out in LA, and they just like you really killed it. Really killed it. Same with Return to Sender, just like really knocked it out of the park.
So yeah,
Beautiful
Return to
job.
Sender, I think a lot of people missed it because it was right at the end before Christmas starts, Christmas coverage. And I tried to tell everybody about it, but it was really cute. I really enjoyed it. I thought again, telling multiple love stories, all happening at the same time. And I like just the whole concept of sort of like the story of this building and the different couples kind of. It was fun.
Yeah. It's like you kind of get a Friends vibe, and then this little mystery, and they're trying to solve the mystery of this letter, and it just feels so, wholesome and cozy and sweet. And I'm glad you liked it, though. It's a really sweet movie. I hope we'll be airing it a lot more next year, so hopefully people will get to check it out. And it'll be coming to Up Faith and Family in January, so always an opportunity.
Oh, that'll be good. Yeah.
SVOD. Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely want to know when it's airing next year, because I'd love to have like the writer on and just like do some more coverage because it was really good. And I think anybody who is a fan of the Postables series on Hallmark will really enjoy it, because I mean it's a similar concept, but a lot of times the movies where they're like looking into something, like there's a picture or a ring or a bracelet or something like that, photo. A lot of times those are really boring and they're not very good. Where like with the Postables, the characters are so fun, and Martha Williamson's such a good writer that she can kind of keep things hopping. And I felt like that was the case with this as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. It really moved along. It kept you engaged. You were like, I gotta find out. And then the 3 love stories. It's always amazing when they can pull that off in the allotted amount of time.
Yeah. I mean, when you see something like that or read something like that, it must be pretty exciting.
Oh yeah, always. You're like, oh my gosh, this one's, you were excited to share it with the viewers, like this story that's going to be special and different.
Yeah.
And it makes me excited. It's one of the reasons I love my job is like, I get to discover something and then I get to let you discover it. That's amazing too. That's amazing. That's like I get to be everybody's, ear. Like when I go to a friend's house, I'm like, have you watched this or have you read this book? I get to be that for like millions of people, which is, quite a responsibility, but also super fun. Super fun.
And I love too when I can feel like all the people involved like taking a bit of a risk and it totally paying off, like Santa's Got Style. I think is one. Like I'm just amazed in all the interviews that I've done with people involved in that movie. I've interviewed the director, I've interviewed all the stars, everything. I've never gotten any sense that any of them were a little bit nervous about it, which I would have been a little bit nervous about it. I mean, not that it wasn't great. It was, but it was kind of out there. And
it's out there.
It was like this could have easily backfired. And it just it captured those like screwball comedy roots that a good rom-com can. And it was so fun.
Yeah, I totally agree. That concept came to us and I was like, I need very little other information. This is exactly what I want.
Yeah.
And our production partner on that one, I knew they could pull it off. They have like great comedy roots, so I had no problem like trusting them completely with the comedy of it. And then when the first cut came in, I was like, this is everything I wanted it to be. So good.
Yeah.
And Franco.
Oh, and Catherine. I mean, they're the best.
Just wonderful. Just wonderful. Adorable. Yeah. Love it.
Very good. Ho, ho, ho. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcast, especially at Christmas?
Do you enjoy the holiday previews, recaps, interviews, and bonus episodes?
If the answer is yes, please consider supporting the Hallmarkies Patreon. We need your help to do what we do both during the Christmas season and all year round.
But not only do you help a podcast led by strong, independent women by becoming a Patreon, you get to become a part of the Hallmarkies family.
Starting at only $2 a month as a patron, you will have access to our Facebook Patreon group where we talk about the movies, shows, and more all year.
We also have many monthly patron watch-alongs with guests like Lacey Chabert, Natalie Hall, Paul Campbell, Mary Lou Henner, and more, giving their behind-the-scenes details of their films.
As a patron, you also have the chance to provide input into the podcast and even join us at different tiers.
So this Christmas season, spread some cheer to the Hallmarkies Patreon and become a member today. You won't regret it.
Go to patreon.com/Hallmarkies to learn more.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies. Well, we noticed that this last month that you had When Harry Met Sally on a number of times. And so that's kind of exciting. That seems like sort of a new thing for UpTV, doing a feature like that.
Yeah, it's something we used to do years back, but had not done in a while. And an opportunity came to pick up When Harry Met Sally. And I was like, absolutely. We had Return to Cinder coming. And I knew I wanted to be able to pair a very great, very classic rom-com with it. And I mean, I think When Harry Met Sally is rom-com of rom-coms, and it's such a good story, such a good movie. Everybody knows it. That's one of those we call remote stoppers. That's one, like, if you're clicking around and you see it, you're like, yeah, I'm going to watch When Harry Met Sally. I don't care where we are in the story. I'm watching it from that point on.
That's true.
And I think you'll be able to see that going into 2025. We have a few more, hopefully coming to the network that we're talking to some people about, some well-known, beloved rom-coms that are just going to help people hopefully come in and discover all the other great movies that we have.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that you had like a TV edited version, but were you a little nervous, like it being on brand with you, with it being an R-rated film and everything?
A little bit. We do some editing. We'll take out some language that we find a little bit too salty. We'll edit any sort of love scenes, but I was pretty firm on keeping the scene.
Right.
The quintessential scene.
Yeah, you gotta have that.
It's iconic. And it's one of those scenes where if you take it out, people are going to notice. It was one of those things that is a risk I'm willing to take with a classic movie like that, because it makes sense to leave it in. It's so glaring if you remove it that it didn't, I was like, this one I'm willing to take the risk. But yeah, there's always a little bit of, I hope we don't get any blowback. And so far I haven't seen any, because I think people going into it, they know what they're getting out of When Harry Met Sally, hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, I love it. But what do you think about the movie's central question? You think men and women can be friends?
Oh, that's such a tough one. I think married men and women can be friends. Sort of.
Yeah.
Depends on your friends, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it is hard though. When I was younger, I always thought it was I was like, of course men and women can be friends. I have tons of guy friends. But when I got married or got into a serious relationship, I didn't have as many guy friends anymore.
Yeah.
And I have a much, So I think it's tough. I don't think it's, I don't think it's anything that you can just play with. You got to be careful, you know.
Yeah. And when we were just talking about that the other day, that's why the friends to lovers trope works so well, is because,
Fabulously.
especially, I mean, in Return to Sender, the
Yeah.
podcasting couple, like he's put it out there and she's like, oh, well, I don't know. I don't want it to ruin the friendship. But like at that point, it's out there and it's over. Like if
Right.
she, like,
Yeah.
there's no going back from that point.
No.
But that's what makes it
No.
so compelling, because it's like, if I don't say something, I miss out on this big opportunity. But if I do, that's it. It's done.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you're not going to be friends with somebody you know is in love with you. Like it's just,
Yeah,
it's
you
not going to
can't.
be the same. You can't
No.
go back. So you're right. Once it's out there, it's out there.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I think that you absolutely can be platonic friends with lots
Yeah.
of people. I think that's fine. But I think it can get messy. And it certainly still, it can't get messy. I mean, and I think that Nora and Rob believed that too. They were friends.
I
They were
know,
good
right?
friends. And
Good friends.
yeah. And I think if that movie was made today, if they were still here and they were making that movie again, I don't think they would have Harry and Sally get together. I think it would
I
end
don't think they would either. I think
because
that,
it
yeah.
defies the whole
Yeah.
theme of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. But people are much more comfortable now with bucking like
Yeah.
traditional rom-com sets. Like you don't have to have your couple. Like take La La Land, for example.
Mm-hmm.
That is a movie with what some people would consider an unhappy ending. Like that is not a
Yeah.
traditional look at a romantic comedy, but I think it works exactly as it should. So I think you're right. I think if they made it
Yeah.
in 2024, Harry and Sally would marry different people but be best friends forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Well, I noticed that you have the Small Town Christmas back for a new season. And that's really fun. Why don't you tell the audience what that's all about?
Yeah, Small Town Christmas is our third season of doing this show, and it's really lovely. Megan Alexander goes to these beautiful little small towns in America, and she interviews people who really love Christmas, and it really gets into the spirit of Christmas, talking about the town and how they celebrate, what are their traditions, what are the decorations that go up every year, what do people come to this town looking for? And I think it's a really special show, and I think people love to see her interacting with these great small town characters, and she usually finds some fun people to interview. But yeah, it's a great show. It's airing this year on December 22nd after North by North Pole, and I
That'll
think
be
people
fun
like I think people really like the
for
two
Christmas.
episodes. Yeah, it's such a good Christmas show. It really gets you in the spirit. She's always in a beautiful Christmas sweater.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, that'll
Yeah.
be nice, because there's really not that much that week of Christmas. Surprisingly, people would be surprised that
Yeah, they
most
did
of it is
that.
finished.
Yeah, everybody's like, I'm out of Christmas now, but we're still in premieres. Come on over to Up. We got you
Yeah.
covered. We're doing
Yeah.
Christmas. We do it all the way through.
Would you say there was anything different or new that you were focusing on this year when you're thinking about particularly the holiday movies?
So I think what everyone's going to find this year is that a few of our holiday movies aren't romance first. And I think that's different for everybody. And we find that really special. When we started doing Christmas, that was more of the focus. We did a lot of very much family-centered stories about the full family, or stories of triumph, or stories that really pulled at someone's heartstrings. And we moved more into the rom-com space. And now we have a couple of these back, and I love it because it really gives a blend. And our company's celebrating 20 years this year. We just celebrated our 20th anniversary. So I think this year blending where we started and where we are is such a great way to honor that 20th anniversary. So, we were looking for more like that. Of course, a romance is always going to work, and I'm always excited to have a Christmas romance. So very much still looking for those, but looking for the stories that gave a little bit more heart, was special this year. It was a fun way. And the mysteries, that's, with Dial S last year doing so well and everybody really loving it, we were excited to bring back another installment.
Mm.
So that was a fun one.
Yeah, that'll be really fun. And you got all those Ion mysteries that you can bring those on, and they were really fun. I really enjoyed covering them. They had like that camp factor, which I always enjoy.
They do. And the titles are so hilarious,
Yeah.
like Dog Napped, Hound for the Holidays, like hilarious. I'm always, yeah, I am puns first, so
Yeah, me too.
you have
I
me at
much
puns.
prefer the mystery shows and movies with like a little bit of camp as opposed to the gritty and trying to be all like, no, not for
Yeah,
me.
yeah. I want to everybody wants to feel cozy at Christmas, and finding ways to deliver cozy along with Christmas, along with something a little different like a mystery. Ugh, that's so
Mhm.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Well, fun. Yeah, and I remember one of my favorites is you guys doing that Rose Parade Princess one.
Oh, Christmas Princess.
Yeah, that one was
Yeah,
really good.
that's
And that was more of a drama.
yeah, it's more of a drama. It's a really touching story, also based on a true story,
Mm.
which was really, really beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely a different look at Christmas with the Tournament of Roses parade, and that story was really beautiful.
Mm-hmm. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the good folks at Harper Road Press and Lindsay Gibson and her new book, The Christmas Coin. Professional ballet dancer Amelia Collins is blindsided when an accident causes a career-ending injury. With no other options but to start over, she leaves city life behind to remodel a country home in the quaint village of Whitebridge, Connecticut. Running on nothing but hope, she moves in only weeks before Christmas. Then she discovers an old European coin with a story while loading some boxes into her attic. A story that might upend everything, especially when single dad Benjamin Walsh finds out about it, and when she learns he's in charge of her remodel. She isn't quite sure how the holiday will go. You can find out more about the Christmas Coin and all the great books from Harper's Road at harpersroad.com. You can purchase the Christmas Coin wherever you do your holiday book shopping, or you can use the affiliate link below. That's The Christmas Coin by Lindsay Gibson. We know you'll love it. Well, the first one we're going to talk about coming up is Festival of Trees.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about this movie.
So this one is like one of those that I was saying before that has a little bit, it's not romance first. There is a romance, definitely, because everybody likes a hunk. And
Yes.
And our bearded, beautiful Christmas tree farm owning hunk, Greg Perro, he's just adorable in this movie and wears a lot of flannel, so you can get into it.
It's enough for me.
Right? I was like, you had me at flannel and beard. We're good. But this is, this is about a designer, and she enters a competition called the Festival of Trees, and this movie is really special. Up is an Atlanta-based company. We started in Atlanta. We've been in Atlanta. The Festival of Trees is I know it's a nationwide event, but we definitely have one in Atlanta. And it's something that I grew up loving. There was always a parade. The festival has all these beautifully decorated trees. You can get ornaments. You can see Santa. It's really this great event. So having it grounded in something that's very Atlanta was another special thing for us. But it also has a tie-in with the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, which is a huge children's hospital. And so this movie has, she's a designer. She's entering the Festival of Trees competition to get this tree decorated, and she finds out that a rival company kind of steals her idea or comes in with an idea that's like hers, and she has to figure something else out. So she meets this kid at the Children's Hospital who gives her this great idea about how to spin her tree, and it just becomes this beautiful, heartfelt story of her meeting this little girl and getting inspiration and finding out like what Christmas is truly about. And then hot dad, Christmas tree farm owner does not hurt, but it is a lovely story. We have partnered with the festival. We've partnered with Children's Healthcare. I won't say partnered.
That's good.
I won't say partnered because that makes it sound like we're joining forces, but we are actively talking to both of those institutions so that they can help promote and get behind it. I have to be careful because children's healthcare, we don't want to make it seem like it's doing more than it is, but such a beautiful organization, and they have this great new beautiful building actually down the street from my house that you'll get to see in the movie that is absolutely stunning. And yeah, it's just a lovely, sweet story, and great cast on this one. We have, like I said, Greg Perro is our hunk, and Kate Miner is maybe people have saw her on Shameless, if you watch Shameless, but she's lovely, she's adorable. And also for fans of 80s television, Josie Davis, who is in Charles in Charge.
Oh, nice.
You have to be as old as I am to remember Charles in Charge, but yeah, that one. Yeah, so it's a good cast, really lovely story, and I'm very, very excited for everyone to see it. And we're airing it the weekend of the Festival of Trees. So
oh, nice. Well, that's good to hear because there was a movie on Great American Family a couple of seasons ago that was supposedly about some like Christmas tree decorating competition, and the trees were like so lame, hardly anything. And like if you've ever been to the Festival of Trees here in Salt Lake, they're like unbelievable.
And like these trees, yes.
Yeah. I'm like, so this movie, I said this in our preview. I was like, it has to deliver on some beautiful trees for it to work.
I hope you're not disappointed, but I have seen the trees. They're lovely.
Okay,
they are lovely.
That's good.
And I think the festival is actually auctioning off those 2 trees.
Oh, okay, good. So they're like legit.
They're legit trees. Yeah. They are beautifully decorated. I have seen this happen before too, like where I'm like, that's not a good tree.
No. I mean, you need more than like paper snowflakes and stuff. I mean, come on, this is a competition.
It's a competition. Yeah. Get your head in the game. This has got to have a theme. Come on.
Okay, this sounds good. This sounds like a lot of fun.
It's really I've heard multiple people in the office watching it going like, I'm crying. Aww. Such a sweet story. Yeah. Lovely.
Cool. All right. So then we have a Bluegrass Christmas.
Bluegrass Christmas.
This one, the first that's going to debut.
Yeah, gosh. Yeah, that's December 1st. And this one, I think people are really going to like Bluegrass Christmas. You're getting everything you need out of a Christmas movie. There's country music, there's Nashville. We have Amanda Jordan in this one, who was in Christmas in Maple Hills, which we aired. David Pennard, which he's been in quite a few of our movies and such a recognizable face. I think the real key to this one, though, is going to be Sean Johnston from Heartland.
Yes. Well, and the fact that it's about a horse sanctuary.
Yeah, horse sanctuary. Sean Johnston, like Grandpa Jack. Come
Heartland.
On, like, Heartland viewers unite. Yes. You've got your Grandpa Jack in a different flavor, but same Grandpa Jack. I think our viewers are really going to latch onto this one. It's horse sanctuary, country music. Amanda's she is an actual country singer, so she is doing her singing in this. And David Pennard is also he's a musician as well. So you're getting a lot of authentic country out of this one, and I think people are going to be really, really pleased.
I mean, we're excited as big Heartland fans. We're definitely looking forward to it.
Season 17 coming to UPtv in January. I don't mind saying. So
nice.
You can watch it already on That Faith and Family, but if you don't have That Faith and Family,
right, okay. So
season 18 is currently airing in Canada.
Right. So,
announcements on that hopefully coming.
Cool. Good.
Everybody stay tuned.
We are through various means, we are covering the Canadian airing this year because we just found we were so behind. And it's made all the difference as far as just like being when people are talking about it and stuff. So and it's a good I think that season 18 is better than season 17. I mean, any season of Heartland is a good season of Heartland, but I felt like when I was watching, I'm like, I feel like they took notes. They were listening to what
they said. They may have. I mean, they've had 18 seasons to like really pay attention, but it's such a good show, though. My goodness,
it's really good.
Show.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies merch store.
Are you looking for that perfect gift for the postable, Hardy, or Hallmarky in your life?
What about getting that t-shirt or hoodie that will help you stand out at your next holiday party?
Now is the time to check out the Hallmarkies merch store.
Full of festive designs by artists like Jessica Miller, Carrie from Hallmark Comics, and more.
You can even have more than just shirts, but totes, cell phone cases, notebooks, mugs, and more.
And it isn't just Hallmark. We have designs for Anna Green Gables, Man from Snowy River, The Nanny, and more.
Every purchase at the merch store goes to help support the podcast and allows us to make the great content you know and love.
There are frequent sales, so go to tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies or see the link in the description.
That's tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies.
Very cool. Okay, so then we have the 12 Dares of Christmas.
Yes, 12
and
Dares.
This on the 8th. And this one sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, this was, she's a school teacher and she and her sister are trying to come up with, fun things to do. And her sister comes up with the 12 Dares of Christmas challenge. And she's like, I have to do this Christmas exchange program. There's a French teacher coming in who's kind of, a little cantankerous. And she's like, this is going to be fun. So I don't want to give away all the dares, but the first dare, she's like, I dare you to go get a phone number from a guy. So she tries every guy in the bar until she lands on the French teacher.
Oh, that's cute. That's their meet cute.
And he is a very handsome Frenchman. Very, very handsome. His name is Sean Assard. And dreamy. Like, he looks good in a turtleneck, which is hard to pull off.
Well, and Brittany's so great. Brittany Underwood.
She's adorable, like just wonderful. Yeah, love her. So I think it's a fun, like, I hope people like see the dares and maybe do their own 12 Dares of Christmas, because they're easy, they're sweet, they're wholesome, but they're a lot of fun. It kind of brings a little joy to your Christmas season if you need a little extra joy nudge.
Yeah, that would be really fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we have A Novel Christmas. This on the 15th.
Yes, A Novel Christmas. This one is another one of those that's got a little bit more heart in it. Basically a children's book author goes to visit her dad, and she's trying to break out of children's book writing and, write her first novel. And she reconnects with an old flame. He has a daughter. They own a little bookstore, and their daughter's an aspiring writer. So it's got the cozy bookstore vibes. It's got this beautiful Christmas vibe. It's again, it's a heartwarming tale. It's people are embracing change, grief and healing. It's just got a lot of, really wonderful Christmas themes in it. Very much a romance, but I think that people will find that this one also has just a little bit more to it than a typical just rom-com, much like Festival of Trees. So
I'm excited, and also I'm intrigued since the star wrote it, Bridget.
Yeah,
that's
Bridget.
cool.
Oh, yes, one of the I just love her to death. She's so sweet, just a sweet, sweet woman. But she wrote it. She's a star of it, and she's really, really wonderful. I just love her. And then Landy Cannon has been in a few Christmas movies like Our Christmas Wedding, I Love You Like Christmas, so people will recognize him as well. But yeah, she wears this stunning ball gown at one point. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for you to see it. Yeah, it's
Cool.
so good. Yeah, it's lovely.
So then we have two more. I don't know the dates on, but we have Country Music Christmas. Did that already air?
No, Country Music Christmas is December 21st.
Oh, December 21st.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
so we're a little further out. But yeah, this one is a really cute movie starring Alexandra Harris, who was in Christmas at the Amish Bakery that we had last year.
We had her on the podcast.
She
Love
is
her.
so charming. Oh my gosh, so sweet and charming. She's playing a songwriter, and an executive has given her like a chance of a lifetime, but she has to leave her writing partner behind to take it. So it's kind of her discovering, what she really wants out of life. It's got, will she leave him behind? Is there romance? There's romance. Christmas. And it's Jonathan Stoddard, which I think he is becoming the king.
Jonathan Stoddard's in it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah. Yeah. Talk about handsome and looks good in a flannel shirt. My goodness.
We've had him on the podcast too. And that man, he had at one point, last time I checked, he had 14 projects in production.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This guy is like,
what
he's
is
like,
going on?
if there is a queen of Christmas, I shall be the king. Like he is out there like getting after it. It's amazing. But like, oh, he was in our movie for a Little Christmas that we had a few years back, and he's been in some other, I mean, lots of other things.
We was
lots
in the
of
movies
things.
with Ansley.
Yep.
And I was teasing him about the purple pie. He had to eat that purple pie. I'm like, no purple food should be that color.
No, it's not a color you find in nature. Like, no, not even grapes are that color. Yeah.
So he's great.
Guy. Yeah, he's
super
great.
charming.
So, and they have good chemistry. Like it's really good chemistry. So you'll like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I didn't know he was in that. And then we have North by North Pole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
North by North Pole is so it's a sequel to Dial-S for Santa. It takes place within the universe of Dial-S for Santa. So which is why it's called North by North Pole, a Dial-S mystery. Sure. So it's basically our same Santa, and he goes to a new town, and our heroine is trying to put on this Christmas festival, and someone keeps sabotaging it. So they are trying to figure out who is sabotaging the Christmas festival. Abby Ross is the lead, and she was in Riverdale. She did A Small Stint on Once Upon a Time. Really charming and pretty. And then Joe Scarpolino, who is in Christmas with the Knightleys and also Christmas on the Slopes. Really easy on the eyes, that guy. So I will say this is like a wholly beautiful cast. Like these people are all unreasonably attractive. But the mystery is great. The movie's sweet. It's within that Dial-S universe, and it's one of these things that we're really hoping to keep going with this Dial-S mystery vibe. I'm personally absolutely tickled by the title North by North Pole.
Yeah, that's really good. And you have Nicholas Humphreys directing, who I love.
Yeah.
He's great.
So all the pieces coming together on this one. I think people are enjoying it. It's the capper on our Christmas season. And I think people really love it.
That will be really fun.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I can't wait to come up with other names for mysteries that have to do with old film movies. This is a good thing going.
Yeah, that would be like a fun. I mean, I would love to be a part of that brainstorming session.
There was a little bit of fear, like people were like, "Well, will anybody get the reference North by North Pole?" And I was like, "Absolutely, surely it's not like a little indie underground film that we're referencing." Yeah. But my daughter was like, "You can tell them that I get it." And I'm like, "You're an anomaly. You've actually seen North by Northwest and you don't count." You were raised in a house of film lovers. You don't get a vote. I think
that you're pretty safe. I think at the very least, like people be like, "Okay, that sounds familiar."
Yeah,
or something. Really
I think we're okay though. Yeah. It's a fun one. I think everyone's gonna get something different out of every single movie this season, and you're going to be able to experience a lot of different levels, and I'm excited. And then we have our library playing, which has some favorites like Santa's Got Style.
Yes. That's good. And Christmas on Fifth Avenue. Got that
Christmas
coming?
on Fifth. Oh, you bet. Christmas on Fifth Avenue. I know that's one of your favorites, but
that's
absolutely.
Favorites.
It's
yeah,
so good. I love. That's why. It's so
Amy Forrest, she gets it. Directing. She's so good.
It's so good, and it's so charming and so sweet, and Catherine is lovely and amazing. Yeah. I met her and I was like, "Can we
We're excited for what you have coming up. Definitely look forward to it. And thank you so much for coming on, talk with us. And And for doing our patron event, this last was so nice. Really
That was
appreciate
so
it.
fun. I'm happy to do that anytime. It was a really good time.
Oh, we'll definitely do it again.
Yeah.
We'll have all the links if people want to check out the UPtv and Up Faith and Family, the service, all of that. We'll have all the links. And thanks again for coming and talk with us. Merry Christmas.
It was so great. Merry Christmas.
We'd like to thank Crissie for coming on the podcast. This was so much fun to get to talk with her and go over all these movies. Which one are you looking the most forward to? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments section or on Twitter. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all of our social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. Check that out. Also, make sure you're following the podcast, Hallmarkies Pod, Hallmarkies Podcast, all of our social media. Please take a look at that. And if you are listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews. That really, really helps us a lot, especially during the holidays. People will be able to find our podcast, the more reviews and 5-star ratings it has, the better, more likely the algorithm will pick us up. So please, 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 please do that. And then also, if you are watching on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that so much. We also have our patron group, or you can have cool experiences like getting to have this Q&A with Crissie that we did a couple months ago. Super cool to get to find out the behind the scenes of a network and what goes into it and all that. So please, please take a look at the Patreon. I think you'll find it's well worth your investment. And then we have our merch store where we have some fun new holiday inspired designs. We've got classic movies. It's a Wonderful Life, Die Hard, Elf, all of those fun things. So please take a look at that. And thanks so much, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye.